So I don't know if you can see, but these are all adult bed bugs here. This is the second treatment of the apprehend, which is the mold spore treatment. But lots and lots of dead ones. This one still has some live ones too. They're out quite a bit. This bed is pretty loaded. I mean, they've had them for quite some time, these bed bugs. You see a few of them running around. But lots and lots of dead ones. Like, that's the best part about this apprehend treatment. It's slow working, but by God, it's effective. You see, like, this is what you want to look for. If you're seeing fecal focal points and these little guys running around too, obviously you have bed bugs, but these black dots, that's from them. Those are the dried up blood meals that they're taking. That's their fecal focal areas too. They're generally going to be, well, by where the most CO2 is emitted. So you got to think headboard, where you're resting your head at night. They want to be close to you. Cracks and crevices in here, probably in that chair as well. Again, these people are disabled physically and mentally, so it's very hard for them to, you know, respond, I guess, and for lack of a better term, in-store nymphs. They're alive, they're moving around. That's what they look like. Bed bugs are translucent until they get that blood meal from you, and they need the blood meal to adapt. See, there's a little guy with a blood meal right there. Lots of dead bed bugs. But this one, look at this. This is like the holy grail. You got poor teddy bear. Strip the sheets. See, and sanitation does go a long way, guys. Now, typically we would use something like a neonicotinoid, but these guys are chronic smokers. So believe it or not, these bed bugs have developed an immunity to simple pesticides like temperate that are nicotine based, meaning that's their active ingredient is that. So you'll see like stuff along the headboards is where you want to look for. If you think you might have them. Now, every good technician will tell you they can't diagnose bed bug based on a bite mark or anything like that too, and that's obvious because we're not dermatologists, we're not doctors. Some of us aren't even entomologists. I don't have my board certification anthropology degree yet. Well, not degree, but certification. I have to go through and get that. That's something that I'm going to be interested in. It's basically insect and pest identification too. Now, if I wanted to go further and work at a state level, I would have to get a master's degree. So that's something else too. Yeah, we're getting better. It's not looking too bad though. I can't really be upset about this. See, I don't know if you guys remember from the first video, but the last one, my God, this thing was loaded. So I'm gonna flip the camera off and I'll start with the treatment with you guys, okay?
Now, this is the mold spore treatment. So normally you wouldn't apply normal pesticides for stuff like this. But because this is an organic chemical and it's safe around humans once dried, that's why I can apply it like how I'm applying it, directly to the area. So you can see an adult bed bug in there. Poor teddy bear. Again, a common misconception is that people want to take and throw out all their stuff and furniture. You can do that. It's not recommended because it's the stuff that we treat, but if you want to throw your stuff out, that's how you can get rid of the bed bugs that way too. But if you live in an apartment building like this and don't own your own home, they'll actually can sue you for causing more issues. And what'll happen is if you were to take these beds and mattresses down and some of these bed bugs were falling and they got into like common areas like where people watch TV, a community room, stuff like that, that's where they can get you in trouble because now you are liable for that. So all technicians will tell you, never throw out your furniture. That's what we treat, guys. I mean, in a dire need, like you want to get rid of it, you feel safe, like you don't feel safe sleeping on it anymore and stuff like that. I understand that. Like, I don't blame you. When I lived in NYC, my apartment had bed bugs. And what we did is we took everything and threw it out. That was before pest control. And there's not much you can do once it's thrown out. There's not much to treat other than the baseboards. That's all you can really treat. So look at that. You can see all these dead bed bugs. This treatment's working very, very well. I'm very, very happy with this treatment. Lots and lots of dead bed bugs. That's what we want to see. Dead is good in my business. You heard me. I got a license to kill, boys and girls. And people, persons, whomever, whatever. Who gives a right? At the end of the day, as long as you're nice to other people, I don't give a Yeah, look at all that. I mean, sanitation goes a long way too, guys. You gotta help yourself here, So like I said, they're disabled. They can't really do much for themselves. Look at that. All that. Fecal focal points. They've had these, this doesn't happen overnight, guys. This is a long time. Like, they had gone on months, maybe even years, just sitting here. Now, every insect bite is an allergic reaction. So that's why when the redness shows up, like say you're bit by a mosquito and you get a bump and stuff like that, that's an allergic reaction. You are in fact allergic to the mosquito bite itself. Now, some people aren't allergic to bed bugs, the bite at all. So when they get bit, it doesn't even show up. They might not even have red marks, or they're unaware that they even have them. And especially in this area where someone who isn't too concerned about their cleanliness, that's where you can run into this issue, and that's why they last so long. Oh, poor Peach. I mean, my goodness, right? Poor little guy, huh? Poor lion, right guys? Poor Leo. Oh, my Leo's out there, be careful. Don't let this happen to you, Leo. Look at him. Now, you might ask, like, why are they everywhere? Like, why do bed bugs move? Like, why are they in just, like, not just in one location? It's just the host they're looking for. And that's actually interesting. Bed bugs mate the same way they feed. So their piercing mouth part, and it doesn't have to be male or female bed bug. When a bed bug comes back to the colony, the male is supposed to emit this pheromone to let all the other bed bugs know that it's a male and not to mess with it. Because as soon as a bed bug comes back to the colony, what it wants to do is all the other bed bugs that were hiding in that crack and crevice that have already had their blood meal, they want to take that and share their DNA, reproduce, natural part of life. It's stuff that they do. And so every now and then, the female obviously gets sick of this mating process, and she goes and branches out on her own and starts her own colony somewhere else. So that's why we start to see them in interesting locations that you might not have seen them before. Now, it's different than roaches. You really won't find these guys like I've seen roaches in PlayStations, Xbox, television sets, Wi-Fi routers, like that kind of stuff. You'll find these guys are going to be on your furniture, a nightstand maybe. There was one case I found them in like a gun safe and that kind of stuff too, but it's generally close to where the host is. That's where you're going to find these guys. No, I'm sure you guys are gonna be sick of seeing all this stuff too, but look at them all. Oh, like, look at them, yeah, full on bed bug. Look at this fatty right here, full on blood meal. Look at that. All the eggs, you see them all moving. Now, typically apprehend treatments are one and done. But you know, when you run into scenarios like this, like you know, like I even said right away, I said normally we just get this out one and done, and we move on from it. But I even told them, I said, look, this is gonna have to be redone again. When you run into issues like this with massive colonies like this, you know you're gonna have to hit it a couple times. It's just not, it doesn't go anywhere, unfortunately. You know, I mean, you saw all the dead bed bugs I was showing you from the first treatment, 2 on this bed, but it's not. It was a huge dent. You should have seen this. This whole comforter would have been moving. Then I just want to go along the cracks, crevices, and folds. That's where I want to. That's where these guys are going to be. Cracks, crevices, folds, guys. Look at this. You see them running around? Now, again, this is not an everyday treatment. If I do 12 apprehend jobs a year, I'm lucky. You know, this is a relatively new chemical. It just started coming out. I remember when I first started with Big Blue Bug a few years ago, they were telling us about this mold spore chemical and how it works, but you see, it's a different machine. It's not the typical regular old DNT. It's pressurized air. But let me tell you, boy, like, out of all the chemicals I use, neonicotinoids based, and even Crossfire, which is a lot of chemical that goes into a mixture, this is the best. This is the best bang for your buck. It's the safest chemical too out on the market too. I mean, you follow the safety instructions. They still tell you to be out for 4 hours while you do it too. But I mean, in this industry, you run into people who can't prep, don't want to prep, or just, you know, completely don't care about the situation itself. So that's where a chemical like Apprehend comes in, and it's so effective because it eliminates that. You don't have to worry about, oh, are they gonna prep? They just gotta, when you show up, they just gotta leave. That's it. And then you're good to go. That's what makes it so special. Because typically, you're normally asking them to empty out their drawers and clothes and stuff like that. Now, if you were to prep for a normal treatment and still use Apprehend, it's fine. It works. Apprehend would even work better then. Again, sanitation and cleanliness are important when it comes to treating all types of pests. Now, typically bed bugs like it a little warm too, so they say for people, if you want to take your clothes and dry them, you want it to do a very, very high heat for like at least 60 to 90 minutes. So you see, like, all these drawers should be empty. For typical regular bed bug treatment, you wouldn't be allowed to do this stuff.